Welcome to Biztech's Ambassador Conversation Show. Today, our conversation is with His Excellency Jose Luis Pardo. He's the ambassador of Spain to Malaysia and Brunei. Spain is a country that's located in the Iberian Peninsula in southwestern Europe and is fascinating and a diverse culture with rich history, culture, and diplomatic tradition. Renowned for its vibrant cities, stunning landscapes, warm hospitality, and great food, Spain offers a unique blend of European and Mediterranean influences. Now, in this interview, we will uncover Spain's vibrant economic dynamism, its culture, and its evolving relationship with Malaysia and ASEAN more broadly. Now, to tell us more, welcome to your show, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Brian. It's a pleasure to be with you and wonderful introduction of my country. Thank you for inviting us.
Now, Jose, for a start, give us an overview of the Spanish economy today, its key sectors and engines of growth.
Yes. Well, it's an opportunity for us to present of people who doesn't know much about Spain. As you have mentioned, we are a European country. We are members of the European Union since 1986. We have a population of 48 million people. We are in European terms because we are a small continent, European as a whole. We are the second largest country in Europe. We have 500,000 square meters of territory, both inland and both islands, in the Atlantic, the Mediterranean. I mean, we are a very rich in history country with a peninsula. As you have mentioned, we are in the Iberian Peninsula together with our friends and brothers of Portugal. And we have been, historically, we speak afterwards, a very open country. And I said that because our economy is very open. It just reflected our history. We are very open country. We are the 14th largest economy in the world. As far as GDP is concerned, it's 1.5 trillion US dollars. And we are the 4th largest economy within the European Union. Trade, we have always been open to the world. We are the second EU member state of the ratio trade of goods and services compared to the GDP. And we have been members of the European Union, but it implies as far as economic possibilities are concerned for market of investing through Spain. Spain, as a matter of fact, we are the 13th country in the world more attractive for direct foreign investment. I think the attractiveness in itself of the Spain economy, a robust economy, but to the access to a market of the European Union with more than 350, 400 million people, we have level of power, purchase power. Our economy is the typical structure of economy of high developed countries in Europe, with a small primary sector, but very competitive and very well known in the world with our products like olive oil. We have the first producer in the world of olive oil. Wine quality wines that are known all over the world, Rioja, Ribera del Duero. I think so many, and the one connected to gastronomy, our Iberico ham and this kind of thing. So agriculture is a tiny sector in our economy, but with a very big impact as far as the image of Spain is concerned. Secondary and tertiary sectors are the most important ones in my country. I begin with the tertiary sector. We are leads in some services within the European Union, and with some, I will limit myself, for instance, to speak about our champions in the banking and financing sector, which become big banks like CaixaBank, like Santander, BBI, that are present in many regions of the world. On services, tourism. We are a powerhouse of tourism. We are the second country in the world most visited. We have. We hope that this year we will attain our historic record after the COVID. We have fully recovered after COVID. Last year we received 82 million tourists in my country, and we hope this year we will attain 85, hopefully. So services, I mean, are a very important part of our economy, and we are for liberalization of services. I mean, we are very competitive in that. We are not in the background. On the contrary, we are in the forefront in the European Union legislations to liberalize as far as possible services, because we are very competitive in that. And the second is absolutely the industrial sector. We have very competitive in all sectors. I repeat, I mean, it would be it's a typical high level developed country economy. I mean, I would not discover new things, but we have in this industrial sector competitive, very competitive enterprise all over the sectors. All over the sectors. On that, let me underline one sector that is future-oriented, that is all that is about digital technology and green economy and green transition. In that, Spain is a leader in passing to the green economy. You know that we have the framework of the European Union Green Economy Deal, and in this framework, Spain has, in the case, invested very much on renewable energies. Why? We have not oil, we have not gas, and so, but we have renewable energies. But for having renewable energies to put into function, you need political will to planification strategy and champions companies that develop research and development. We have all of the three. And now, for instance, to put some examples, Brian, 47% of our electricity comes from renewable energies. That is
a very big number. 47% comes from. So you're really very much ahead of many countries in terms of this whole green transition away from fossil fuels.
That's it. 47% of electricity, of the energy, and we want to attain as far in 2030 we can attain 81%. Why? Because we have plenty. We have invested plenty. Our companies are now leaders, champions in the world in renewable energies, mainly wind energy, both inland and offshore. This is the first 40% of our renewable energy came from wind energy. We have plenty of wind in Spain. The second is solar. We have plenty of sun in Spain. 25% of our renewable energy came from that. Biomass and others. I mean, we are very good in that. We export. We have been traditionally an important country as far as energy is concerned. As a matter of fact, our level of dependency was very high. That's another point that for us is a challenge, an opportunity, a challenge and an opportunity, big opportunity. Green energy, because we want to decrease dramatically our energy dependence, even to roughly to zero in 2050 on a net zero emission global aim of the European Union. And having these renewable energies, we have doing the jump into what we consider will be the energy of the future, the green hydrogen, green. We are the other hydrogens with other colors, as you know, Brian, but we are specialized in green hydrogen, and our companies are leading on that. Iberdrola, Cepsa, Camsa, Repsol, so many, Acciona, I mean, so many that are just following this new technology for producing green hydrogen. We have already, it's not just a plan or a strategy, it's already, we can, of course, it's a strategy, already have a lot of examples already creating or generating hydrogen, green hydrogen energy. For instance, we have in Puerto Llanos, and it's in the plant from Iberdrola, the biggest in Europe, the biggest plant of generating green hydrogen. This is a plant that is established mainly to do fertilizers, and there are so many projects now in Spain in the development phase to do hydrogen. We want to be a hub in Europe in producing and distributing for the rest of the European Union. I say this market is a very big market, European Union, this green hydrogen. In this case, we speak afterwards. We are with Malaysia in the same place as Malaysia. Malaysia wants to be a hub in Asia, as far as in Malaysia in general, and Sarawak in particular, to be a hub in Asia as far as the generation, stocking, and production of hydrogen, green hydrogen.
Yeah, and also interesting, and we'll come back to that. We'll talk about also then innovative Spanish company called Plastics Energy, who is basically who is invested in Johor, that turns scrap plastic into petroleum products. I think they have a joint venture with, or I think they have a partnership with Petronas. So this is an example of smaller Spanish companies then who have come to places like Malaysia in order to export their products and services. Now, Your Excellency, can I ask you then also in terms of diplomatic relations between both our countries? Diplomatic relations were established in 1967. What is the state of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and Spain today?
Very good. I mean, thank you for posing this question. With this year we celebrate the 56th anniversary of our bilateral relations. I mean, that was began in 1967. By the way, is the year in which I was born. So we have the same age, myself, and the bilateral relations between our two countries, Spain and Malaysia. And from this, we have been able to really build an impressive, I mean, robust bilateral relations with Malaysia. We have many things in common. We have many things in common. These 14 months that I'm here in Malaysia, I have seen so many, really, so many, more than I expected, things in common among between the two countries. But coming back to your question, relations are very good politically. Let's speak further, elaborate further if you want. Politically, there are basically very simple principles, very clear: transparency, friendship, trust, respect for the positions of others, and respect for third countries. And yes, having peace and stability as our main goal. It has been enriched with the time, with our both belongings to the European Union, Malaysia to ASEAN. And so there is really very, very good relations, politically speaking. Economically speaking and trade speaking, there are more than 70, you have mentioned one, more than 60, 17 enterprises established already in Malaysia in all the sectors. Big industries from consumption goods as Roca, Cosentino, Mango, Inditex, Zara, Massimo Dutti, so many. Picolin, that here is called Dulopilo, Fleeder. In the industrial sector, Acerinox, Técnicas Unidas. I'm speaking of really big companies in Spain. Acerinox, Técnicas Unidas, Arquimea, Ordazábal, Ormazábal, Molecol, Mosby, in all the sectors. You have mentioned one of the green sectors. For instance, in what I have mentioned, Acerinox through Pardo Stainless has the biggest European investment in Johor. That is stainless steel in Johor Bahru. For instance,
and that has been around for a long time. I think that's from more than 20 years, right?
Yes, long time. Absolutely, you're right, Ryan. And petrochemical, for instance, with Técnicas Unidas, in the petrochemical field in Johor too, open a new refinery with the Petronas of Morocco. That it will be open hopefully at the end of next year. In solar production, we have solar park established here. In chemical sector, Israel, Cabri Falls, the very good and very sound companies in Spain. In infrastructure, we have Airbus. Airbus, as you know, is French, German, Spanish, and a company, and Airbus has had a lot of a good, an immense, I would say, print in this country, not only as civil aviation but to military aviation. But we have Indra, that is a big company in Spain of communications, transport, defense. We have CAF, we have IDOM, we have IDOMO, we have GMB Group, engineering. So many companies. Finally, because I do not want to finish with that, just citing in the sector of hotel and tourism, we have Melia here. This a worldwide Spanish level. We have AC by Marriott. We have the Olio. We have Yao Yao. That's to say, we have many companies here.
And
Are we satisfied? Are we satisfied so far? No, because we are very ambitious. So we wanted to increase the level of our trade, bilateral trade, that is limited so far. We have more or less 2.4 billion euros last year of bilateral trade. That is not in the height of our possibilities of both countries.
And the 2.4 billion, the bilateral trade figure is in favor of Malaysia at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. Historically, we have deficits with trade with our Malaysian friends. Yes, has been historically, and that is a big deficit. For instance, last year was 1.3 billion euros of deficit in Malaysia. We can speak afterwards if you want. In the imports, we have the third within the European Union country importing Malaysian palm oil. That is, I say because I know that is an industry especially important in the country, socially and sociologically speaking, on top of industrial, of course, industry in the country. More than 6% of GDP of Malaysia comes from the sector. So we are the third country in the European Union importing palm oil from Malaysia. We buy it crude and we refine in Spain. So just to mention the level, it's not that we want to decrease the deficit, of course, but what we wanted to increase the global trade and investment, because we have potential to do that. We want the political will. We have our companies we have seen in these 14 months here from Malaysia absolutely not only happy with the work of our companies here in Malaysia, but to happy to increase and to do all the facilities for increasing our presence there. The same goes without saying in Spain. I repeat that Spain is the 13th country in the world attracting, and historically been like that. It's not announcing that historically very attractive country to do foreign investment.
Now, Your Excellency, then let's take a slightly broader lens now and look broadly at Spain's key objectives for ASEAN today and in the near future. What are some of the priorities for Spain in terms of engaging ASEAN as a whole?
Thank you, Ryan. Well, there is some of our objectives are, we have national objectives, of course, and our objectives are in increasing our capacities of bilateral cooperation in some sectors. Many sectors that were already present, but let me underline two sectors in which we have special hubs. Is all that is related to digital economy, smart cities. We are very good in that, and communications and transport. And the second is about the sectors that's what Malaysia wants in the new blueprints of the new industrial plan and other blueprints within the energy transition roadmap, national roadmap, economy Madani, and other strategic blueprints in Malaysia. The high research and development are highly specialized sectors. And that we have hopes in two. One is research and development, and we have a tool there. We have signed this year in March, a memorandum of understanding between the two ministries of innovation and technology, and we are working on that to identify lines of priority lines to cooperate together, not only in the sense of technology and in research by itself, but to apply to business, apply to immediate or applying science to production. And the second is renewable energies. And I said to you, green hydrogen. I came for instance, this week from Sarawak, and there is a lot of possibilities for our an interest for our companies to accompany and to see the strategies for developing green hydrogen in the future. That is not to say it's strictly bilateral, but we must take into account very importantly in this case our belonging to the European Union. As you know, the European Union, as far as trade and commerce are some things are exclusive competencies of the European Union, as you know. So, and that we have collectively, and of course, Spain, yes, sure, these collective endeavors, they are promising, really promising prospects for enlarging the presence and the future European Union presence of, as far as business is concerned, in Malaysia. We are well situated with the fourth biggest trade partner, collectively speaking, European Union with Malaysia.
I think Malaysia is the EU's EU is Malaysia's fourth largest trading partner. Just
Yes.
to put that in perspective.
Yes, absolutely. It is well, the biggest partners of Malaysia, trade partners, are regional countries, as we in the European Union. I mean, our main trade is between us, as among us. 60%, 65% of our trade of each of the member states countries are made with the rest of the European Union market. So it's normal. But the European Union has here a clear, a good image and presence. And so, but we can do. We are very hopeful on the new process that open. That are mainly three. First, that if we could begin retake the negotiations of the free trade agreement, European Union, Malaysia. You know that this kind of agreement is exclusive competence of the European Union. Not member country can sign or negotiate a trade agreement with nobody. So it's an exclusive competence of the European Union, the trade policy. So it would be very helpful if at the end of the year we could reopen the negotiation. It will be great because we have the European Union has either free trade agreements with the Vietnam or Thailand, or negotiating there, but in the case of Indonesia, or in the case of Philippines, very hopeful to reopen a negotiation. So that is the first hope for the future. The second is about the possibility of the European Investment Bank to operate in Malaysia. That would be very good in itself, but connected to the possibilities of European Union investment in Malaysia in the framework of the Global Gateway. The Global Gateway, as you know, is a massive economic, framework in order to foster global goods like interconnectivity, green economy, digital economy with the rest of the world. And taking into account that global gateway is mainly blending, mainly loans, European Investment Bank operating in Malaysia could open a very strong, extremely interesting possibilities for investment, Spanish and the rest of European Union member states investments in Malaysia. Just Brian, just to remember the quantities, for instance, in the last summit, ASEAN European Commemorative Summit, 45th Commemorative Summit that we just hold in Brussels, December last year, we committed 10 billion euros in global gateway for ASEAN countries. And some countries of the regions, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, or Vietnam, and are using this one. So we are hope absolutely is a great perspective that Malaysia will be able to enjoy of these European frameworks of cooperation and investment.
Jose, it's been a fascinating conversation. I've really learned a lot in this interview. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with about potentially, Spain and how really Spain could work better with ASEAN and Malaysia in particular?
Brian, again, thank you very much for this opportunity, because we think that not only bilateral at the European Union level, but speaking now from Spain, we have plenty of possibilities to increase business in Malaysia. We have a good experience. I have just mentioned just a few of the companies that we are here in Malaysia. Malaysia is a secure country and a stable country, good infrastructures, good politics, good blueprints. I mean, good qualified people. English is a lingua franca for the business, so it's very well situated and located in the region, the whole ASEAN region. So Malaysia is a very attractive country to invest, not only in itself, because well, Malaysia has 34 million people, and even with that, it's lead in many sectors, electronic and so on, which we all know. And that as a platform for all other ASEAN countries, as we are a platform for European countries and Latin American countries because of our historical relation with Latin American countries. Malaysia can do can do even more as a springboard, that's to say, for investing in the rest of Asia. We have when I came just 14 months ago, I have the feeling that Malaysia lives in the future. When Europe will live in the past and the future a bit, but here in the future, and I think that we have opportunities. Just emissions like yours help very much on that to underline the possibility of doing business in Asia and in Europe too, but in Asia and our countries should be more focused in this Asian market, especially in Malaysia. All the region is booming, but Malaysia especially. So we use our work to push that the embassy, the trade offices of the embassy, and so we do our utmost to do that. And these kind of invitations, Brian, and I finish with that, is very helpful for us. And thank you very much again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show.
Thank you. Terima kasih. Thanks. Gracias.
Now, we've been speaking to His Excellency Jose Luis Pardo, the Ambassador of Spain to Malaysia and Brunei. I'm Brian Fernandez, and we've been watching and listening to Biztech's Ambassador Conversation Show. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.